Hey y'all, hey, happy Juneteenth. I worked 10 to 12 hours today, so it wasn't a holiday for me, but it was definitely well worth my time trying to help a gentleman who's been a long-time guest of Love Inc. Really great story in the beginning, and then sometimes life be life, and then life has definitely just threw him for a loop. He was in a very comfortable housing situation, and because sometimes black men, I'm gonna blame it on y'all, those who aren't equipped, all of our guys are very excellent communicators and are very knowledgeable in systems. He didn't have those skill sets, and he ended up getting kicked out of a very affordable housing situation, and now, unfortunately, at the age of 61, he has recently been diagnosed with a degenerative neurological disorder, and very strong black man, physically, mentally, spiritually. And now, like last night, he broke down crying. I went to go pay his outstanding balance at a motel. He had like a $510 outstanding balance. He lives on like $1,000 a month. And thankfully, because of one of our donors, we were able to prevent him from being literally homeless, but he's in one of these one of those very dismal, ratty hotels on Florida Avenue. I feel horrible for him. He's such a, not that this matters or anything, he's such a handsome man. He's so handsome. And he posted a picture of him and his father. His father's 80 years old. He's 61. And both of them just very handsome men, and handsome black men. And it just hurts my heart to see him suffering so much, because he has these amazing connections with people of means, and the community really rallied around him back in 2021 whenever, he essentially lost his source of income due to COVID, and helped get him into this affordable housing facility. He was there for 4 years, and what I have learned, because he's not the only guest that I have experiences with, black men or women or whatever, whoever, people who are authority averse do not report things that happen to them. So he got into an altercation with two young women who, these millennials, they're going to speak up for themselves, right? So these millennials, they went and filed a report against him in this complex, and he got kicked out. And because of his pride, he didn't reach out to Love Inc. in enough time for us to even fight for his right to stay in this facility. So he has been homeless. This is a man who Love Inc. through our automotive ministry was able to gift him with an Infinity vehicle back in 2021. And he stood very strong, accepting those keys back in 2021. And I'll show the video here, because he wants everybody to see, the conditions that he's living in. It just breaks my heart, and because he's a prideful man, he's used to earning a living and providing for himself. He just broke down crying yesterday whenever I was talking to him at his place, and even after I left, we prayed together, and when I tell you this man can pray, this man is anointed, right? He can pray. He will pray for you. He knows the word. and he can barely speak now because of this neurological disorder. And it breaks my heart because the first time I met him, he came to morning prayer, and Amy knows about morning prayer. And man, he prayed for us in a way that just blessed us so much. And it really just breaks my heart to see him suffering like this. So I worked some extra hours tonight, and reaching out to all of the agency heads that I knew that would listen to me and possibly find some sort of bridge to stable housing for him, because he cannot sustain himself in a hotel by himself. He needs all the resources that Sweeney is tapping into for Mr. Fields. He needs social worker and a nurse, people to come check in on him and provide. He needs Meals on Wheels and all these things. And right now he is just struggling to survive. And after I left last night, he sent a message to one of his mentors. He's not a Love Inc. mentor, but he's a mentor of his. He collected many mentors, including our city councilman, Bill Carlson, who was instrumental in getting him into housing in the first place. He reached out to this guy named Kirk and said, if anything happens to me, I need you to contact these people, right? So that's kind of like a suicide letter. So I got a call this morning from Kirk, who I had never spoken to, and he was just absolutely distraught, just saying how important this guy is to him. This is a man who just shined his shoes at Oxford Exchange. So talked about how important and how loved this guy Jimmy is to him, and just begging me to just do anything I could today to try to get Jimmy into some housing. And after the county commission meeting that was on Wednesday, I don't think I've been in here since then, I'm going to bring it to the freaking county commission's attention every single day. Every single day, I think I want to send them a case of someone, a senior citizen, because these are seniors that are struggling. Moms, we don't get a lot of, and we do, but there are a lot of resources for moms and veterans and, people of that sort. But for senior citizens who might have some sort of history with the judicial system, they might be returning citizens, they might have spent some time in prison. They are struggling the most. These are black men who are struggling the most because they are authority and system averse. They don't want to reach out and advocate for themselves and fight for their rights. They have rights as citizens, as returning citizens, and he's just such a lovely man. And just the fact that just to see him suffering in such a way, knowing that my dad is a few years older than him, it hits me so hard. And I just hope that we can find something for him, because he deserves it, right? So he deserves to have a place to lay his head at night. So it's been a long day. I'm happy to do whatever I can for him. And at this point, it doesn't boil down to money. We can put a pool of money together, but where is he gonna go, right? So what pisses me off is people who are so out of touch with folks who live on the edges of our society, and they think that everything is just fine. And the fact that our county commission struck down a fund that was set aside to build and develop affordable housing in our community, it pisses me off. And I'm venting now, and I feel like this is a safe place to do that. And I know this is a long polo, but I just want you guys to know, what I was up to today on Juneteenth. And if there's anyone, if we're supposed to celebrate freedom today, I want to work for the freedom, the spiritual and physical and socioeconomic freedom of a man like Jimmy, because he shined shoes. And even though he was a shoe shiner at Oxford Exchange, a very kind of like affluent, locale or whatever, he deserves a certain level of dignity after investing so many years in our society and our community. And with that, I'm going to stop this polo because I did not expect to cry.